The DNA test results hit the mahogany table with a sound that shattered Zara's world. 99.9% probability of paternity, the lawyer read aloud in crisp English, and suddenly, every eye in the Kim family's sole estate boardroom turned to her. Not with welcome, with fury. Zara's hands trembled in her lap. She'd been married to Kim Tae-hyun for 6 months. 6 secret, hidden, wait until the time is right months. And now, she understood why he'd kept her hidden. Because Tae-hyun, her husband, her everything, the man who'd promised her the world, had a 3-year-old daughter he'd never mentioned, with his ex-girlfriend who was very much present, very much living in the family compound, very much wearing a diamond that made Zara's wedding ring look like costume jewelry. And the worst part, Tae-hyun was standing there against the wall, stone-faced, not denying a single thing. "This is Dr. Zara Williams," Tae-hyun's grandmother said, her voice dripping with false politeness. "The American woman my grandson has been hiding in an apartment in Gangnam." She said American, like it was a disease. I thought it was time we all met properly. Zara looked at Tae-hyun, silently begging him to say something, anything, to tell them she wasn't just some woman. She was his wife. They'd gotten married in a small ceremony 6 months ago. He'd promised her they'd tell his family when the time was right. He'd said he loved her. He'd said she was his future. But Tae-hyun wouldn't meet her eyes. The woman sitting across the table stood up. She was beautiful, elegant, everything the Korean beauty standards demanded. Her name was Park So-jin, and she was holding a little girl with Tae-hyun's eyes. "I'm sorry you had to find out this way," So-jin said softly, and she actually sounded sorry. "But Tae-hyun and I have been together for 5 years. We have a daughter. His family chose me to be his wife. But he married me," Zara whispered, finally finding her voice. "6 months ago, we're legally married." The grandmother laughed. It was a cold, cruel sound. "A piece of paper signed in secret means nothing. You are not his wife in any way that matters. You are a mistake he made because he was rebellious and foolish." "Tae-hyun." Zara stood up, her chair scraping against the floor. Tell them we're married. Tell them you love me." Finally, he looked at her, and what she saw in his eyes broke her heart. Guilt, shame, but also resignation. "Zara, I can explain." "Explain what?" Her voice rose. "Explain that you have a 3-year-old daughter you never told me about. Explain that your ex-girlfriend lives in your family's house. Explain that you've been lying to me for 6 months. "It's complicated," he said weakly. "Complicated?" She wanted to scream. "You told me you loved me. You married me. You said we'd build a life together." "I do love you," Tae-hyun said, and he actually sounded like he meant it. "But my family, my responsibilities, Hana needs her. Father." "And what am I?" Zara asked, tears streaming down her face. "What was I to you?" Before he could answer, his grandmother stood up. "You were a phase, an experiment. But now it's over. We're willing to be generous." She slid an envelope across the table. $5 million. Sign the divorce papers, leave Korea, and never contact my grandson again. If you're watching this, please hit that subscribe button right now. This story is about to get intense, and you don't want to miss what happens next. Now let's continue. Zara stared at the envelope like it was a snake. $5 million to disappear. To pretend the last 6 months never happened. To let Tae-hyun go back to his perfect Korean life with his perfect Korean family. "I don't want your money," she said quietly. "Everyone wants money," the grandmother replied. "Don't be foolish. I said I don't want it." Zara looked at Tae-hyun one more time. "I want my husband to act like a man and stand up for what we have." Tae-hyun opened his mouth, but his father cut him off. "What you have is nothing. You are nobody. You have no family connections, no business value, no place in our world. You're a foreign woman who seduced my son and thought you could trap him into marriage." "I didn't trap anyone," Zara said, her voice shaking with rage now instead of sadness. "He pursued me. He begged me to marry him. He promised me everything." "And now he's being realistic," the grandmother said. "Take the money, Miss Williams. It's more than you deserve." Zara picked up the envelope, and for a moment, everyone thought she was going to take it. Instead, she ripped it in half and let the pieces fall to the table. "I don't need your money, and I don't need a man who's too weak to stand up for his own wife." She walked toward the door, her head held high even though she felt like dying inside. Security guards appeared, as if they'd been waiting for this moment. They escorted her out of the boardroom, down the marble hallways, past family portraits of generations of Kims who all looked at her with the same cold disapproval. As they pushed her out of the estate's front gates, she heard So-jin's voice behind her. "I really am sorry," the other woman said, "but he was mine first, and Hana needs her father." Zara didn't respond. She just kept walking until she reached the main road where she'd left her car. She sat in the driver's seat for a long time, not crying, not moving, just staring at nothing. 6 months ago, she'd met Tae-hyun at a medical conference in Seoul. She was presenting her research on a new cancer treatment, and he'd approached her after her presentation. He was charming, intelligent, interested in her work. They'd talked for hours. He'd asked for her number. Within a month, they were inseparable. He'd told her he was the heir to Kim Pharmaceuticals, one of the largest drug companies in Korea. He'd said his family was traditional, but he was modern. He'd said he wanted to marry her, build a life with her. And like a fool, she'd believed him. She'd given up a job offer in Boston to stay in Seoul with him. She'd learned Korean. She'd tried to understand his culture, and the whole time, he'd been hiding her away like a dirty secret, while playing happy family with So-jin and their daughter. Her phone buzzed, a text from Tae-hyun. "Please let me explain. It's not what you think." She almost threw her phone out the window. Instead, she typed back, "It's exactly what I think. You're a coward who couldn't choose. But don't worry, I'm choosing for you. Lose my number." She blocked him before he could respond. Zara drove back to the apartment they'd shared, the place she'd thought was their home. She packed her things in a fury, throwing clothes into suitcases, grabbing her research files, her laptop, everything that mattered. She'd leave everything he'd bought her. The designer clothes, the jewelry, all of it. She didn't want anything from him, her. Phone rang, an unknown number. She almost didn't answer, but something made her pick up. Dr. Williams, a man's voice speaking English with a slight Korean accent. "This is Kang Min-seok from Tanaka Pharmaceuticals. We met briefly at the conference 6 months ago." Zara remembered him vaguely. Tall, handsome, mixed Korean and something else. He'd asked intelligent questions about her research. "I'm sorry. This isn't a good time," she said, wiping her eyes. "I understand you recently had a meeting with the Kim family." Min-seok continued. "I hope I'm not overstepping, but I wanted to reach out with an opportunity." Zara froze. "How do you know about that meeting?" "Seoul is a small world for people in our industry," Min-seok said carefully. "Dr. Williams, I'm calling because Tanaka Pharmaceuticals would like to offer you a position. CEO of our Korean division, and we'd like to acquire the patent for your cancer treatment research." "I wasn't aware my research was for sale," Zara said slowly. "Everything is for sale at the right price, and more importantly, we're offering you something the Kims never will. Respect, recognition, and full control over your own work." "Why are you really calling?" Zara asked. "This feels too convenient." Min-seok laughed. "You're smart. I like that. The truth? Kim Pharmaceuticals has been trying to acquire your patent for 2 years. They've been working through intermediaries, making lowball offers. When Tae-hyun started dating you, I assumed it was part of their strategy. Zara's blood ran cold. What? You didn't know? Min Seok sounded genuinely surprised. Dr. Williams, your research is worth hundreds of millions. Kim Pharmaceuticals' entire expansion into oncology depends on acquiring patents like yours. I thought surely you realized that's why Tae-hyun pursued you. The room spun. Zara sat down hard on the bed. He married me for my research? I don't know about marriage, Min Seok said, but I know Kim. Tae-hyun was assigned to get close to you. Whether he actually developed feelings is between you and him, but the timing was very convenient for his family's business interests. Comment below and let me know where you're watching this from. I want to know how far this story's reaching. Now back to what happens next. Zara felt like she'd been punched in the stomach. Everything made sense now. The whirlwind romance. His interest in her work. The way he'd always asked about her research, her patents, her plans. She'd thought he was being supportive, but he'd been gathering information. Why are you telling me this? She asked Min Seok. Because I believe in fair play, he replied, and because I want you to know what you're worth before you make any decisions. Kim Pharmaceuticals sees you as an asset to acquire. Tanaka Pharmaceuticals sees you as a leader to recruit. There's a difference. What's the offer? $300 million for the patent. CEO position with a 5-year. Contract at $2 million per year. Full research budget and complete autonomy over the oncology division. Zara's head was spinning. $300 million. That was more than the Kim's entire market cap for their oncology division. I need to think about it, she said. Of course. But Dr. Williams, one more thing. I'm half Korean, half black. My father was stationed in Seoul when he met my mother. I grew up being told I didn't belong in Korea because of my blood. But I also grew up watching my mother be dismissed and disrespected by families like the Kims. So I understand what you're feeling right now. And I promise you, if you join Tanaka, you'll never be made to feel less than again. The call ended. Zara sat in the empty apartment, her mind racing. She pulled out her laptop and started researching. Min Seok was right. Kim Pharmaceuticals had been trying to acquire her patent through various shell companies and intermediaries, and every attempt had increased in aggression, right around the time she'd met Tae-hyun. Her phone buzzed again. Tae-hyun, calling from a different number. She answered this time. Zara, please listen to me, he said desperately. I love you. I know it looks bad, but I really do love you. Did you marry me for my research? She asked flatly. Silence. Tae-hyun, answer me. Did your family tell you to get close to me because of my patent? More silence. Then quietly. It started that way. But then I fell in love with you for real. Everything I felt was real. Everything except your honesty, Zara said. Everything except your courage to stand up for me. Everything except your basic human decency to tell me you had a daughter. Hana was a mistake, Tae-hyun said. So-jin and I weren't even together when she got pregnant. My family insisted I be in her life. But I don't love So-jin. I love you. But you chose her today. You stood there and let your family humiliate me. You let them call me nobody. You didn't say a single word to defend me. Because I was in shock, Tae-hyun said. I didn't know they were going to ambush you like that. I thought it was just going to be a family dinner. You've had 6 months to tell me about your daughter, Zara said, her voice breaking. 6 months to be honest with me. 6 months to prepare your family. But you kept me hidden like something shameful. And now I know why. Because I was never your wife. I was a business strategy that got complicated. That's not true, isn't it? Tell me honestly, Tae-hyun, if I didn't have that patent, would your family have ever accepted me? He didn't answer. That's what I thought, Zara said. Goodbye. She hung up and blocked that number too. For the next 3 days, Zara worked like a woman possessed. She met with lawyers, reviewed contracts, and had 3 more conversations with Min Se-ok. The more she learned about Tanaka Pharmaceuticals, the more she realized this was her chance. Not just for revenge, though that was definitely part of it, but for real professional recognition, for a future she'd build on her own terms. On the 4th day, she signed the contract. The news hit the Korean pharmaceutical industry like a bomb. Dr. Zara Williams, the brilliant researcher everyone had been trying to recruit, had just signed with Tanaka Pharmaceuticals, and she'd brought her revolutionary cancer treatment patent with her. Kim Pharmaceuticals' stock dropped 15% in one day. Zara's first day at Tanaka, Min Se-ok met her in the lobby with a genuine smile. He was even more handsome than she remembered. Tall, with warm brown skin and sharp features that somehow blended his Korean and black heritage perfectly. "Welcome to your new kingdom," he said, shaking her hand. "Ready to change the world." "Ready to prove my worth," she replied. He showed her to her office, which had a view of the entire Seoul skyline. "Everything you need is here. Your research team starts Monday, and we have a press conference scheduled for tomorrow to announce your appointment." "Will the Kims be there?" Zara asked. Min Se-ok grinned. "They wouldn't miss it. They're probably scrambling right now trying to figure out how to do damage control." He was right. The next day, Zara stood at a podium in front of dozens of journalists, cameras flashing. She wore a power suit that made her feel invincible. Min Se-ok stood beside her, a show of unity. "I'm honored to join Tanaka Pharmaceuticals as CEO of their Korean oncology division," she said in perfect Korean, which made several journalists gasp in surprise. "My research into targeted cancer treatments will now benefit from Tanaka's resources and global reach. Together, we're going to save lives." "Dr. Williams," a reporter called out, "there are rumors that you were previously involved with Kim Tae-hyun of Kim Pharmaceuticals. Can you comment on that?" Zara smiled, and it was sharp as a knife. "I have no personal relationship with anyone at Kim Pharmaceuticals. My only relationship with that company is as a competitor, and I intend to win." In the back of the room, she saw him, Tae-hyun, looking devastated. Next to him was his father, looking furious. After the press conference, Tae-hyun tried to approach her. Min Se-ok stepped between them smoothly. "I don't think Dr. Williams has anything to say to you," he said calmly. "This is between me and my wife," Tae-hyun said desperately. "Ex-wife," Zara corrected. "I signed the divorce papers yesterday. We're done." "Zara, please, let me explain everything. My family was wrong. I was wrong. But I love you. I'll leave the company. I'll leave everything. Just give me another chance." For a moment, just a moment, Zara almost felt sorry for him. He did look genuinely heartbroken. But then she remembered the boardroom, the humiliation, the lies, the daughter he'd hidden, the fact that he'd pursued her for business reasons first and love second. "You had your chance," she said quietly. "You chose your family, your company, your perfect Korean life. So stay there. I'm building something better." She walked away with Min Se-ok, leaving Tae-hyun standing alone. If you're enjoying this story, please hit that like button and let me know in the comments what you think Zara should do next. Should she forgive Tae-hyun? Should she trust Min Se-ok? Keep watching to find out. Over the next 2 months, Zara threw herself into her work. Her research team was brilliant, her resources unlimited, and her results were extraordinary. Tanaka's stock soared. Kim Pharmaceuticals continued to struggle, especially as Zara poached several of their best researchers. Min Se-ok became her closest ally. They worked late nights together, strategizing, planning, laughing. He understood her in ways Tae-hyun never had. He saw her as an equal, a partner, not a prize to be won or an asset to acquire. One evening, after a particularly successful product launch, Min Seok took her to dinner at a rooftop restaurant overlooking Seoul. "You've been here 3 months," he said, pouring her wine. "You've already transformed the division. The board is thrilled." "I'm just getting started," Zara replied. "We're going to revolutionize cancer treatment in Asia." "I believe you." He looked at her seriously. "Can I ask you something personal?" "Sure." "Do you regret it? Coming to Korea? Everything with Tae-hyun?" Zara thought about it. "I regret trusting someone who didn't deserve it. But I don't regret the experience. It taught me my worth. It taught me to never let anyone make me small again." "You were never small," Min Seok said softly. "You were always brilliant. Some people just couldn't see it." There was something in his eyes that made Zara's heart beat faster. Something warm and genuine and interested. "Min Seok," she started, but he held up a hand. "I'm not asking for anything," he said quickly. "I just want you to know that when I look at you, I see a genius, a leader, someone who's going to change the world, and maybe when you're ready, when you've healed, I'd like the chance to know you as more than just a colleague." Before Zara could respond, her phone rang. An unknown number. She almost ignored it, but something made her answer. "Dr. Williams," a woman's voice. "This is Park So-jin." Zara's stomach dropped. "What do you want?" "To apologize," So-jin said, "and to tell you the truth about everything." Zara excused herself from the table, walking to a quiet corner of the restaurant. "I'm listening." "I was never Tae-hyun's girlfriend," So-jin said. "We had a one-night stand 5 years ago at a company party. I got pregnant. His family forced him to claim Hana and help raise her, but we were never together, never in love." "Why are you telling me this?" "Because he loves you, really loves you, and I'm tired of being used as a weapon against you. The grandmother orchestrated everything. She wanted to humiliate you, scare you away, because she knew if you stayed, Tae-hyun would choose you over the company." "He already made his choice," Zara said bitterly. "He chose them. He chose wrong," So-jin agreed. "But he's been miserable. He quit the company. He's fighting his family for custody of Hana so he can raise her away from their influence. He's trying to be the man you deserved from the beginning." "It's too late," Zara whispered. "Maybe," So-jin said. "But I thought you should know. He didn't marry you for your research. He married you because he loved you. Everything else, the family pressure, the business strategy, that was all his father and grandmother. Tae-hyun was just too weak to stand up to them until he lost you." The call ended. Zara stood there, Seoul's lights twinkling below her, her mind spinning. She returned to the table. Min Seok looked at her with concern. "Everything okay?" "I don't know," she admitted. "That was So-jin, Tae-hyun's ex. She says he really did love me, that his family manipulated everything." "Does it matter?" Min Seok asked gently. "Even if he loved you, he still failed you when you needed him most." "I know," Zara said, "but part of me wonders if I gave up too fast, if I should have fought harder." Min Seok reached across the table and took her hand. "Zara, you fought. You fought alone, while he stood silent. That's not a partnership. That's not love." "Then what is love?" she asked. "Love is what I see when I look at you," Min Seok said quietly. "It's respect. It's standing beside you even when it's hard. It's celebrating your success instead of feeling threatened by it. It's being proud to call you mine." Zara's breath caught. "Min Seok." "I'm not asking for an answer now," he said quickly. "I'm just saying, when you're ready, I'm here, and I will never make you feel less than the incredible woman you are." 3 days later, Tae-hyun showed up at Tanaka Pharmaceuticals. Security called Zara's office. There's a Kim Tae-hyun here insisting he needs to see you. Zara's first instinct was to refuse, but something made her say yes. He looked terrible, like he hadn't slept in weeks. He was holding a folder. "Thank you for seeing me," he said quietly in English. "You have 5 minutes," Zara replied. "I quit Kim Pharmaceuticals," he said. "I'm suing my family for full custody of Hana. I'm moving out of the estate. I'm starting over." "Good for you. I did it for you," Tae-hyun said, desperately. "To prove that I choose you, that I should have chosen you from the beginning." "You're about 4 months too late," Zara said. I know I don't deserve another chance. But Zara, I love you. I really, truly love you. Everything Sojin told you was true. I married you because I loved you, not for business. My family used my relationship with you for business, but my feelings were always real. He opened the folder. "These are the divorce papers you signed. I never filed them, because I'm not giving up on us." Zara stared at him. "You can't just decide you're ready to fight for me now. You should have fought for me then." "You're right," Tae-hyun said, tears streaming down his face. "I was a coward. I let my family intimidate me. I let my fear of disappointing them override my love for you. But losing you was worse than anything they could have done to me. So I'm fighting now. I know it's late. I know I failed you, but I'm begging for one more chance." Before Zara could respond, Min-seok appeared in the doorway. "Dr. Williams, your next meeting is ready." Tae-hyun looked at Min-seok, then back at Zara. "Is he why you're really done with me?" "He's a good man who treats me with respect," Zara said. "Something you should have done from the start." "I'll prove myself to you," Tae-hyun said. "However long it takes, I'll prove that I'm the man you deserved all along." He left. Zara sat down heavily in her chair. Min-seok closed the door. "Are you okay?" "I don't know," Zara admitted. "Part of me wants to forgive him. Part of me wants to burn every bridge and move forward. And part of me is just tired of thinking about it." "Then don't think," Min-seok said. "Just live. Build your empire. Change the world. Let love find you when you're ready, whether that's with me, with him, or with someone else entirely." Zara looked at him. At this man who'd given her opportunity when she needed it most. Who'd stood beside her without asking for anything in return. Who'd shown her what real partnership looked like. "Can I ask you something?" she said. "Anything. That first phone call when you offered me this job. How much of it was genuine opportunity and how much was you wanting to hurt the Kims?" Min-seok smiled. 50-50. I won't lie. I enjoy competing with Kim Pharmaceuticals. But the opportunity was real. You're brilliant, Zara. With or without the revenge angle, hiring you was the smartest business decision I've ever made. "And the personal interest?" she asked. "Is that revenge too?" "That's 100% genuine," he said softly. "I'm not interested in you to hurt Tae-hyun. I'm interested in you because you're extraordinary." Zara stood up and walked to him. She looked up into his eyes, seeing warmth and honesty, and something that felt like hope. Then she kissed him, soft and sweet and full of possibility. When they pulled apart, Min-seok was smiling. "Does this mean you're ready?" "I'm ready to try," Zara said. "I'm ready to see what real partnership looks like. I'm ready to build something with someone who sees me as an equal from the start." "Then let's build it together," Min-seok said. 3 months later, Tanaka Pharmaceuticals announced a major breakthrough in cancer treatment using Zara's research. The news made international headlines. Zara was on the cover of Time magazine. Forbes named her one of the most influential women in science. Kim Pharmaceuticals' market share continued to decline. Tae-hyun kept his word, won custody of Hana, and started a small consulting firm. He sent Zara occasional messages, always respectful, always expressing regret and hope. She never responded. And Zara. She built her empire with Min Seok by her side, not as her savior, not as her revenge plot, but as her true partner. They worked together, dreamed together, and slowly, carefully, fell in love together. 1 year after that terrible day in the Kim family boardroom, Zara stood at a podium accepting an award for innovation in oncology. Min Seok was in the front row, beaming with pride. In the back, she noticed Tae-hyun, watching with sad eyes and what looked like genuine happiness for her success. She'd risen from humiliation to triumph, from betrayal to truth, from a secret wife hidden in shame to a CEO celebrated around the world. And she'd done it on her own terms. If you made it to the end of this story, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and comment below, telling me what you thought of Zara's journey. Should she have given Tae-hyun another chance? Is Min Seok the real hero? Let me know your thoughts. And remember, you are never too broken to rebuild, never too hurt to heal, and never too lost to find your power. Until next time, keep believing in your own worth.